Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's so great to have you here hanging out with me again. In this video, I'm going to dive deeper into Virgo and compatibility. This way, you can get even more detailed when it comes to having the tools to make the most of either finding the relationship that you desire, or if you're already in a relationship, deepening the love, maximizing the enjoyment of that relationship, and strengthening the connection. And in this video, we will be talking about Virgo. So keep in mind as you're watching this that it will apply to sun sign and moon sign compatibility. Meaning you can apply it to Virgo sun with each sun sign and that compatibility, then Virgo moon with each sign in the moon position. For example, if I'm talking about Virgo and Aries compatibility, it will apply to Virgo sun and compatibility with someone that has an Aries sun sign. Then it will also apply to Virgo moon with someone that has Aries moon, but not so much someone that's a Virgo sun sign dating someone that has Aries moon. That breakdown is a little more complex. So for now, we're just sticking to sun sign with sun sign and moon sign with moon sign compatibility. So no more wasting time. Here are the goods on Virgo when it comes to compatibility with each sign of the zodiac. Let's go. Okay, so for those of you who watch my do's and don'ts videos, you know that when it came to soulmate compatibility, I broke it down into 3 categories. So let's start with category 1, which was the best matches for Virgo, and the signs in that category are Taurus, Capricorn, Cancer, and dating another Virgo. Okay, Taurus and Virgo. This is a match made in heaven for sure. They both love to plan for the future. They both love to debate their opinions. They both have a very high sex drive, so there will be a lot of good, long-lasting physical encounters. They both love to make and save money. They are both very rational thinkers. The only challenge for these two is when they do get into one of their bickering sessions based on who is right and who is wrong, they can go on and on, but once they get to the bottom of the situation, they usually find resolution. Not to mention, they love having makeup sex, so it's all good with Taurus and Virgo. Definite thumbs up from me with these two. Okay, Capricorn and Virgo. These two definitely bring out the best in each other. Virgo's perfectionist nature is not only appreciated by, but also meets its match when it comes to being in a relationship with hardworking, ambitious Capricorn. They admire one another and take pleasure in bringing each other happiness. Capricorn usually takes the lead with sex, but this is one situation where Virgo actually has no problem going with the flow. These two also have the earth sign connection like Taurus and Virgo because Capricorn too loves to plan for the future and make responsible, practical decisions, which makes Virgo feel secure and excited for what the future holds. The only time these two will have a problem is when Capricorn gets a little too bossy, or when Capricorn thinks that Virgo has chosen the most difficult way to do something. But because they speak the same language, they will find their way out of a moment of disconnect pretty quickly because of their solution-oriented communication. This is a power couple for sure. All right, now Cancer and Virgo. Well, first off, Virgo really loves that Cancer pays attention to the little things, and Cancer loves that Virgo is direct. And because of this, it leads to Cancer trusting that Virgo is honest, which is a must-have for any Cancer. They both think in terms of the future, which does give them both a sense of security. But they do share the tendency to be critical, so they have to make sure and be careful not to slip into being one of those couples that's always bickering. But they do see things pretty similarly, so this shouldn't cause too much of an issue. As long as Virgo remains emotionally expressive and Cancer fights the tendency to shut down when they get upset, then these two can have a very promising future together. Okay, now Virgo and Virgo. Well, this is one of the only signs in the zodiac that has a really easy time dating the exact same sign. These two perfectionists work really well together. They both take love very seriously, and they both enjoy the fact that they know each other is responsible. Not to mention, they both see each other as intelligent, so there's a mutual respect that helps to keep the bond strong. There will for sure be some debates in this relationship, but they both love to debate, so no real problem there. As long as they make sure not to bring out their tendency to look at the worst case scenario when challenging situations come up, then they should find that their similarities serve as a foundation for a safe, loving, long-lasting, strong relationship. Okay, the second category is made up of the signs that can work for Virgo, but it will definitely be tricky and it will take a little extra work. And these signs would be Leo, Gemini, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Okay, Leo and Virgo. Well, Virgo's reserved nature can definitely frustrate Leo's desire for adventure. Virgo's pretty critical, and Leo prefers compliments, not critiques. Leo likes to dominate, and Virgo doesn't always have to take the lead, but they do require an explanation as to why they should allow someone to take the lead. And unlike Capricorn, Leo is not willing to go through a long debate listing all of the reasons that they should lead. And without this point-proving conversation, Virgo will resist giving up any control. So these two may have some fun in the beginning, but over time, the arguments will prove to outweigh the good times. And for Leo, if the good times aren't plentiful and frequent, then they're out. Okay, Gemini and Virgo. Now, they are both ruled by Mercury, so they will initially have a strong attraction because of the fact that they will have a great intellectual connection. They both love to analyze and discuss the world around them, and Virgo will love the fact that Gemini has tons of ideas and a great sense of humor, and Gemini loves the fact that Virgo is a hard worker and plans for the future. The challenge for these two comes with the fact that Virgo begins to see Gemini's emotional ins and outs as a bit unbalanced, and Gemini takes offense to Virgo's judgments and critical nature. When conflict comes up, Virgo sees Gemini as irresponsible, and Gemini sees Virgo as too serious and uptight. So they will for sure need other points of compatibility to overcome their tendency to see things very differently. So as long as they work on effectively communicating and not getting stuck in past conflicts that they may have had, then they can have a fighting chance at maintaining a loving connection. Okay, Scorpio and Virgo. Well, Virgo feels loved and protected by Scorpio's possessive nature. They also have a mutual respect for the way that the other thinks and sees the world. Neither of these two will open up very easily, but when they do, they will find strength in the connection. Virgo's willing to compromise as long as the reason for compromising makes sense to them, and this works well for Scorpio because they have a similar way of getting to the point of compromise because they have an equally particular nature. The issue here comes up with the fact that Scorpio can be secretive, and this actually prompts Virgo to become the same way. So the fact that they are reluctant to be vulnerable may be what breaks them apart. So if they really want to make it work, which they definitely can, they have to have other points of compatibility in their chart that lend to them being a bit more open and willing to be emotionally expressive outside of the bedroom. Because in the bedroom, they're good to go. Okay, Aquarius and Virgo. The biggest plus with these two is they have some great conversations together. They both love to analyze life and explore the deeper meaning of their experiences, and they don't mind standing out from the crowd. However, when it comes to love, they see things very differently. Virgo takes every word they say and every word that the person that they're with is saying very seriously. They nitpick every detail, whereas Aquarius speaks more in ideas as opposed to definitive truths. Not to mention, Virgo seeks financial security and Aquarius seeks abstract adventure. They make great friends, but in order to make great lovers, they are going to need other points in their chart that lend to a more romantic connection. All right, now the third and final category is made up of the most challenging matches for Virgo, and those signs would be Aries, Sagittarius, Libra, and Pisces. Okay, so Aries and Virgo. Well, the main issue here is that these two just have a very difficult time communicating with each other because Virgo likes to discuss and analyze the situation to come up with the most efficient plan. And Aries likes to act immediately and sees Virgo as wasting time and energy on all of that analyzing. Their arguments will end up being far more passionate than their sex life, and that is another issue. Virgo sees Aries as a loose cannon, and Aries sees Virgo as an uptight stick in the mud. They can definitely find more compatible company. But if they want to make it work, there has got to be a lot, and I do mean a lot, of compromise. Okay, Sagittarius and Virgo. Well, we know that Sagittarius has the risk-taking, free-spirited attitude of a gambler, and this makes Virgo very nervous because they're much more interested in a secure, calculated approach. Not to mention, Sagittarius is extravagant and sees money as a source of freedom and good times, whereas Virgo is a bit more into budgeting and living more simplistically. Even if there's a strong sexual attraction, the bottom line is Virgo sees Sagittarius as reckless and untrustworthy, and Sagittarius sees Virgo as stuck in their ways and small-minded. So the odds are definitely stacked against these two. If this is going to work, they will definitely need many more points of compatibility. Okay, Libra and Virgo. Well, first off, Libra enjoys spending money and Virgo would prefer to save. Now, this doesn't mean that Libra doesn't save money or that they aren't good with money. They just see budgeting from a different perspective than Virgo does. Libra's natural seductive quality can definitely tap into Virgo's sensuality, but Virgo's critical nature quickly takes the air out of Libra's excitement. These two find much more frustration with each other than they do fulfillment. However, if Virgo can be more willing to compromise and see things a bit differently while making sure to work as a team, and if Libra can implement a bit more practicality into their approach, along with clarity of commitment, then they can have long-term possibilities. But the level of compromise that they would both have to make is not a small one. All right, now Pisces and Virgo. Okay, like I always say, and what we all know is that opposites do attract, and these two are opposites in every sense of the word. So yes, they are for sure gonna have a strong initial physical attraction. However, the major differences in their personality prove to be way too challenging. Pisces sees love as an all-encompassing emotion with free-flowing expression, while Virgo analyzes and critiques everything, including love. Not to mention they tend to intellectualize their feelings. Virgo prefers love to be slow-moving and taking their time to get to the place of trust and deep commitment. And Pisces' intuition leads them to trust their feelings, so once they feel connected, they don't see the purpose in taking it slow. And they definitely don't see the purpose in boundaries when it comes to being with someone that you really love and you really trust. So the frustration of these differences can definitely prove to be a very big hurdle to overcome. If by chance they commit to figuring it out and making it work, it can end up being a relationship with very unique rewards, just based on the fact that in order to get on the same page, there would require major spiritual work and transformation on both their parts. So there you have it, a bit more detail when it comes to compatibility with Virgo. Now remember, I am a firm believer that you can be with anyone if you're in love and both of you are committed to growing together, having great communication, and always doing your part to stay connected. You know what I always say, love. That's all and that's enough. So I'm sending you all love. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Thanks so much for taking the time to come and hang out with me, and I will see you in the next video.